never written something like this before. So today we're going to be doing something rather unique. I'm going to take classical music riffs and turn them into beats. No, I mean, sort of. The way I'm going to be doing it is not just apply beats to these classical music phrases, but I'm going to be playing them on the keyboard with a drum library pulled up. So that way I'm using the technique and I'm using the patterns from the classical music repertoire, but it will not sound like it at all. So it's kind of like gold mining, maybe. I'm just really inspired by a lot of music that I've been listening to recently from all kinds of genres, hip-hop, lo-fi, electronic music of all sorts. And I just like listening to how the patterns are so diverse and intricately woven. I've been thinking a lot about how patterns in music contain different combinations of sound in a particular order and repeating or not repeating in a particular way. For example, a pattern like the Alberti bass commonly found in classical music has both repetition and variety. In other words, something consistent but not static. It takes a plain triad, just 3 notes, and adds movement to it. And when I keep these concepts in mind while writing my own music, such as this pattern here, I notice that the flow becomes more organic. I also hear repetition and variety present in so many different kinds of beats and drum patterns, and although it's a very basic and loose comparison, I think a lot of these concepts regarding patterns are just very universal. With that in mind, let's just give it a go and see what happens. All right, so I'm at my computer. I have battery 4 pulled up here. I'm just gonna choose some kit, let's say 808 multiple kit. I'm gonna put it on mute for now. I'm gonna choose a section that has enough repetition and has a distinct pattern. So I'm gonna unmute this. I think it sounds kind of horrible. So I'm just gonna loop this and go through different kits. From here, I tried playing in different phrases and then I would go into the software and change up the libraries and also the transpositions. Captain Jack. Okay, so to be quite frank, this whole process was getting very chaotic and random and I just couldn't decide on any phrase. But the last one I did try was this excerpt by Bach. Then, like before, I went through the drum libraries and chose one. This is what it ended up sounding like. I promise the second attempt will be a lot better, but I just thought that it would be wrong of me not to share with you my honest starting point with this whole experiment. So we'll leave it at that for today. That was kind of horrible, but I'm going to try again tomorrow. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but I just feel like I should give this another try. We're gonna start from scratch. So a pattern that I'm thinking of is from this etude by Chopin, and there's this part where the left hand has... I just want to try that. Just a quick pause. What I did learn from the previous day is that overly complex patterns and longer patterns don't work as well as shorter ones. Unmute this. Not quite. There's potential there, I guess. Here we have it starting from D flat. Okay, we're gonna delete this one. Just delete some, you know? Yeah, I think that sounds better with the tiny gaps. So I really think omitting certain notes were key to this because otherwise the pattern was very straightforward. Having those gaps added a little bit of rhythmic variety. I think we need a break here. Yeah, why not? I've seen people do stuff like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's not very specific, is it? But it's gonna work. So at this point, I'm just taking inspiration from my starting point, which was the drum pattern, and I'm adding different sounds to build up the track. I want something, let's do list. Okay, let's use that and add sampler track. So I drag this in here. like so. Whoa. What if I reverse this? I like that. Let's just try it. Maybe? How about some roads? You know, I'm not really sure what that rhythm is. I'm just trying to match what I did with the sampler. From then on, I just continued to add a few more layers in this fashion. All right, so this is what I have so far. I don't know what it is, but it's something. All right, so it was definitely worth trying, but it was a lot harder and a lot more complicated than I thought it would be. But it gave me a starting point. It gave me a reason to start with something, and from there I started to build it, and it ended up being something that I probably would not have written otherwise. You know, I don't make beats at all. So this was just an interesting plunge into this world. I really respect what people do out there in terms of making beats and all these interesting tracks with intricate elements. So it was just worth a go. Please give this a like and subscribe to the channel if you feel like it, all that YouTube stuff. Thank you to my patrons on Patreon. And if you are interested in watching the beats that I made in the past, a few years ago, the lo-fi beats, check out these two links here. And I'll see you in the next video.